Do you think traditional strength training negatively influences peripheral motor control?
Yes, it does. Because one thing you don't need in traditional strength training is co-contractions, because it's the muscle against the resistance, and that is where the equilibrium comes from. Where if you look in explosive sports, the peripheral motor control is based on properties of muscles, but they need to be activated, and that can only be activated by co-contractions prior to the moment they have to correct things. So if I run, I have typically swing leg retraction. In that swing leg retraction, I build up the tension in all the muscles, and then when the ground hits the foot, then these muscles can correct errors, and that's peripheral control. So if you're running in that direction to the right in strength training with resistance, where you actually need to be to the left, co-contractions, then obviously it can have a negative effect. And that depends a lot on the individual again, because there are people who are not very sensitive to it. They can do a lot of strength training and then have good co-contractions as well. But I also know of one sprinter who's a national champion. If he would do one heavy strength training session, his whole season was ruined. Everything fell apart.
What could you notice? Is that the shapes? Is it his running form? How he feels? Like, what were the things that you could see where that strength session was having a negative effect?
No, losing 3 or 4 tenths of a second in a 100-meter race.
His performance.
Yeah, and I've seen the same thing with world junior record holder in 100 meters, right? Ran 10 seconds when he was a junior, then started doing heavy resistance training, then couldn't run faster than 10.6 or something like that. Then he was advised to back off and start doing more technical coordination-based training, went back to 10.10, but then he decided to do heavy resistance training, went back to 10.60. Those things happen, right? And it's not happening with everyone. There's people who are robust and stay within that same performance window, but there's quite a few people who are very sensitive to this. And that's where organization plays a role, right? Because the positive negatives are not depending on the exercise, but are depending on the characteristics of the individual.